Hello and welcome back to the Finish Line, proudly sponsored by Hollywood Bets. I know, Jack, we are late. I know. Just got a text off Jack, one of the lads at work with. You're late. It's Tom's fault.
Blame me. Football again. We won though.
Oh, the new, was it? January sign is working out well.
Yeah, made permanent, and we score, and I scored 2 and we won. So yeah, happy days.
Obviously this is talking points. We usually do this on the Sunday, but we were too busy lapping up Leopardstown at the Dublin Racing Festival. So we're going to preview all of the Dublin Racing Festival now. And we're going to do a shortened version of a weekend preview on Friday, where we'll be mainly previewing the Hollywood Bets Grand National Trial, which is on Sunday. And speaking of that, I was meant to upload the graphic, but I forgot to. There is a... Oh, wait, have a look at that. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Bear with me. This is live television, all that crap. Not television, but anyway. Oh, wrong one, Andrew.
It is kind of live television.
It is, but still, this is the wrong one as well. But anyway, there is a... Lou. €10,000 to be won if you back the winner of the Grand National Trial, Hollywood Best Grand National Trial on Sunday at Punchestown, and then that horse goes on to win either the Irish or English Grand National. So, again, the horse wins on Sunday. You've backed it. You are then in with a chance to win a share of €10,000. All the T's and C's can be found on hollywoodbets.co.uk and hollywoodbets.ie. You'll find it in the promotion section. I think that's covered that one. It's not actually that interesting. There's 1 or 2 now that could win the Irish one that are entered in it. English one now is a different story. But yeah, and also Hollywood Bets are gone non-runner money back on the Champion Hurdle, Champion Chase, Stayers, Ryanair, and the Gold Cup. And you'll find all them on hollywoodbets.ie and .co.uk in the future racing section. What else is there? I'm going through it all. Oh, Boosted Doubles the weekend will be up tomorrow instead of tonight. There was a nice one that everyone kind of latched onto, the Honeysuckle Sir Gerhard one, which was... took a bit of bashing for it. Wow! Last one, we have tickets to the Grand National Trial on Sunday as well. So we have 6 tickets, so 3 pairs of 2. And all you have to do is comment below the winner of last year's Grand National Trial at Punchestown. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So if you want to avail of the €10,000 bonus, all you have to do is have a Hollywood Bets account. If you don't, links are in the description for the UK and Ireland. Oh, anyway, that's that done. Boys, I'm barely after recovering. Barely.
I'm not. I have a head cold now as well.
You didn't sleep for 2
Huh?
You didn't sleep for 2 days.
I did a test.
I
don't give a fuck anymore. Anyway.
What's up with the 2 of you? For the one of us now, I was by a mile the worst on Sunday.
Yeah, you did, and then you didn't drink all day Sunday, so no wonder you're
I did.
You rang me. You at the bar. Yep. I got you a pint. Oh, just wanted a bottle of water. You get the pint and shut up.
I did. I wanted a bottle of water, but I got peer pressured into drinking pints for the day. I met someone.
Now, technically, I left that pint down next to the side. I didn't tell you to drink that pint. I would gladly drank that pint.
But when you disappeared and we're drinking pints of lager with other people,
peer
pressure then.
Andrew, I'm going to get us pints now.
You got caught rotten.
An hour later, Patrick said to me, "Where's he gone to get the pints?" Came back with his hands swinging.
I thought Tom was drinking Guinness. What do you mean? You sure he's downstairs drinking lager?
No, he wasn't drinking. He wasn't drinking. He wasn't drinking on Sunday apparently, but he was down talking to people drinking lager. Swine.
Gavin Kenny wants to know how to get tickets for the preview night.
Oh yeah, sorry, and that's what I didn't write down. Preview night, we are working on a link where you just fill out your details and the ticket will be sent to you. It is 100% done. Everything is booked. I went through all the sound today with a few people. So as of now, it's me, Dave, and Tom, Gavin Lynch, and Dara O'Keefe. Behave yourself.
Huh? I hope I'm there. I will generally don't want to miss it.
You'll be fine. So it's on the 4th. It's in the Tower Hotel in the 3rd Thursday of March. In the Tower Hotel, Waterford. And the second we have this done, it should be done by Friday. The tickets will be up. And the same in Brentford. So the Brentford one is on the 24th of this month. And that is in Brentford Community Stadium. The same thing. The tickets will be on this link, which will be done again by Friday. Same thing again. For those details, it will be sent to you. So that's the three of us again. Jamie Moore, and Neil Morris is doing the MC, and we're just waiting on the confirmation for one more. So I think that is about 200 people for that one as well. So that's another free event, no charge whatsoever. You might get a pint and that on arrival as well, and food at halftime. So that is on 24th Thursday in Brentford. And the second order links are ready. I'll put it up on the finishing line. Social media pages, and it'll be
if I don't meet Christian Eriksen, I'm never speaking to you again.
I'll set up Christian Eriksen for you. I like heart buddies. I believe he likes horse racing.
Good. I don't. As long as he talks
That's
to me.
That's a lie. I was just trying to
likes.
make our hopes up that he's going to be there.
Dave doesn't want to talk to him about horse racing. Dave's going to bore him with all the hard stuff anyway. So
Thomas, the Brentford one will be streamed. The Waterford one will be recorded and put up this Saturday. So it's on Thursday. It'll be up Saturday. And Jack wants to know, Tom, you're going to be previewing trotting racing?
No, it's Cheltenham now. That's Cheltenham. No. Serious stuff.
Yeah, there's a bit of that now in the serious stuff on Sunday and Saturday too. But
what?
Yeah, it was serious on Saturday and Sunday.
And
there was trotting as well. Like,
just get out of the way.
I didn't back any trotting on the weekend, lads.
That is just basically a lie.
It's not. I backed a couple of French tips and that passed.
10:30 in the morning. No, I think it was like, what was the first morning?
It was 11:30.
8:30.
Saturday.
It was 8:30.
Was that not
breakfast at 8:30?
Is that not trotting?
I seen him going through the French race. Why are you back? Oh, French joke here. I was like,
but no, the first day, was it not trotting you were watching, or was it just normal race?
It's just normal racing. Normal French racing.
Yeah, the trotting's more fun.
He was doing his research for Prengard.
That's already done. Prengard wins the cross country, lads.
Right. First off, experience of Leopardstown. Saturday.
Bag of shite.
Correct. Sunday.
Great.
Correct. Sunday or Saturday was an absolute abomination of a fucking, sorry, excuse the French, a day. 40 minutes to get a pint?
More.
It was longer than that. It was definitely longer than that.
Kubo went 5 minutes after, was it the second race?
He missed Vauban.
And then he missed, after the first race. And he missed the whole Vauban race and 10 minutes after, which was an absolute shambles.
I know, in fairness to them, they've come out and held their hands up and said, we didn't have the staff. And actually, interestingly enough, one of the reasons why was the rugby was on. The rugby was on the same day. And the people who sort out the staff, the agency who sort out the staff, prioritised the Aviva. Of course they did. So yeah, it made for a bad experience, to be honest. But I think they understood that, and I don't think it'll happen again next year. Put it that way. I think they'll be proactive now about changing it rather than just wait to see what happens next year. But fantastic couple of days racing, though, wasn't it?
Oh, it was unbelievable. There was top class racing, top class finishes, top class horses. Company was all right as well, I suppose.
We had a right good night now on Saturday, to be fair.
We did.
Apart from until Dave had a row with the hotel manager.
Never row with anybody.
And the next morning, I thought he was going to tear you one over the counter on Sunday morning for the breakfast.
I just don't get, I'm paying good money for shit. I want it done properly.
I literally stepped over the other side of the rope and started walking towards the table. I knew we were getting somewhere. Anyway,
you can apologise now on live TV there, Tom, for saying that I couldn't organise it properly. So I'll
Yeah,
wait there.
we did. We were in the Clayton in Leopardstown. Still driving up, pulling in. I parked. I checked how long there was free for the underground parking because I was like, am I going to have to pay for this now when we've got the wrong hotel? But no, we were in the right place, and I was impressed, Dave. Yeah, it was good.
Sorry, Dave.
Sorry, Dave. Yeah, sorry, Dave. I doubted you. But
Do you know what the good thing was?
I knew I didn't hear
Do
it.
you know what the good thing was as well? Somebody actually turned up.
Yeah, Tom turned up.
yeah, I made it this time. It was, it was good fun.
It was very good fun.
We hit the for those of you asking, we hit the wine very hard, myself and Andrew on Saturday night, and that was our downfall. Really, well, it was my downfall anyway.
I was bright as a button the next day.
Do you not have to give out a shout out to some people
Oh,
from
I do.
Ballyfermot or something?
See?
Yeah, met them in the Paddy Power.
Oh, sorry, as well. I want an apology off the two of you. My gosh.
No.
I want an apology right now.
No, I had to
When the
stand
last
next
day?
to you and watch it. That was bad enough.
It was the
I love that part.
It was the time before that you napped him when he was running at Lingfield.
I told him, did I or did I not tell you Gosham was going to win?
I was happy with him winning Saturday. I don't mind that.
See? He wants apologies, but never gives them out. Dick. Yes, we do have shout outs to give. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just find it.
Lads, while he's finding that, lads, we met Lydia Hislop. It was class.
We did.
Yeah. Really.
Well, we
nice
met. You stalked.
I did not stalk. Hang on now. There is only one.
Tell the whole story. Tell the whole story. Tell the text story.
There's only one of us who ran after Lydia Hislop. Who was that, Dave?
She left her glasses behind.
Yeah.
I was up.
It wasn't me, anyway.
I was like, Lydia, sit and hear me. Lydia, no. Fuck me after
To
running
be
down.
fair, Tom, I was in bed at that stage, and there was 4 others there, and you, and they all said you stalked. So it's 4 against 1.
He was like a meerkat. Every move she made, he was going there. He was like he was playing boxing. He was like dodging everything.
Personally, I can't speak because I wasn't there, but I don't know. It's 4 against 1, Tom. What are you going to do?
Where is this?
As Paula says, she only has eyes for Ruby.
Oh my God, where is this? I did put it in here, didn't I?
You put it in our group, Andrew, somewhere. There was a nice guy from Ballyfer. I remember where he was from, Ballyfer.
A shout out to Robbie, Keith, Nathan, Brian, and John from Ballyfermot. Met him in Paddy Power in Leopardstown, shouting home Goshen, which was nice because Tom was next to me. He was head in his hand watching everyone shouting, "Go on, Jamie!" Tom was standing there shaking his head. But yeah,
I think you should just say as well, thanks to everyone who came and said hello to us. Yes. There was actually a lot, lads. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed it, and I didn't expect that many people to come up and say hello, but they did. And to the 2 lads who stood next to us for the last race of the weekend and won for $3,000 accumulators each.
Our thoughts go out to you.
Unlucky lads, but fair play to you for standing by it.
Gavin Kenny, when in Waterford would be the place to go for some points before the preview.
The Reg is across the road. That's a nice bar.
Yeah.
Straight, literally a 30-second walk across from the hotel.
Or the Woodman has nice Guinness. Or Alfie's in Ballybricken has nice Guinness. It's quite far away. It's quite far away.
The Reg is nice.
Shout out to Paula Baldwin for a superb bet.
Fantastic, Paula. Well done.
On Saturday, to €100, 100 to 1. Bets and each way double. Lovely price. And shout out to Paula Baldwin for always texting an old good price each way. She texted me yesterday with a horse that's only entered in 1 race at the festival and was 150 to 1 on Betfair and very much shorter everywhere else. An each way chance. And Tom has backed it 1,000,000 times and Andrew has backed it 1,000,000 times. I've never backed it until yesterday. Koshari, that used to be trained by Willie Mullins.
I actually backed that as first run away for Willie Mullins at 40 to 1 and he duly obliged. Excuse you.
150 to 1 on Betfair, Tom.
Yeah. I wouldn't have given the little Yank any chance either, though. So yeah, best of luck.
I did.
The comments, Andrew.
What?
The comments.
We met Kenny as well, who owns Three Stripe Life. We had a good chat with him a few times. Kenny is
such a nice guy.
Some lad.
He's a really nice guy. Yeah.
Thank you for the money.
Context, Dave. Context.
Nope.
Really nice guy. He spent a lot of time with us. In fairness, watching the races with us.
Well, I know we'll get to him, but he's got a lovely horse there, Three Stripe Life.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be. I actually watched his race back today. I think he'd be an even better chaser. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was saying that he's a staying chaser.
3 mile chaser.
On day long. Right. Speaking of the racing, saw that again. As Dave said, thanks to everyone who came up. Told us they really enjoy the show and what we do. Look, doesn't go unnoticed. We do appreciate it, and it's just reiterates that we kind of what we want to do is working.
There is one slight issue though. Dave, what are you wearing?
Yes, where's the t-shirt?
I'll have it the next day. Actually,
Dave got a brilliant t-shirt.
I said this about now, Dino Dave. He never brought Dino Dave to the races.
I didn't even unpack. He was in the car. I didn't even unpack my case yet. Nah, fucking, I'm so busy.
You're gonna break out the gosh and top again?
Oh, they're all coming out on what's it? Sunday, Friday. Loads of presents on Friday.
Right, what's that else? A lot of things happened. We surely forget something, but anyway. We are going to start with the Nathaniel Lacey Solicitors 50 grand Cheltenham bonus for stable staff novice hurdle. That's a mouthful.
Wow.
Oh, I'll just shout out to wish anybody that was worried about Jerry Hannon when Birchdale was running.
Birchdale?
He's okay.
As I said when we were there, Jerry clearly watches the show and followed me in and just got a little bit excited when he saw him absolutely canter. So go on, Jerry.
Oh,
so no one remembers I put him up as well again. Anyway, this race, we had Manila Cocooner beating Manila Crooner. And Hollow Games back in third, and then 12 lengths back to Freedom of Dreams. I thought it was a great ride by Danny Mullins. He kind of stole this at the end of the back straight, turning in. He kicked on again when he gave him the breather. Manila Crooner ran on very well. Hollow Games as much as now. In regards to Cheltenham now, maybe I'll talk about it because these where these horses will end up. Dave, Manila Cocooner going forward. Ballymore horse, are you thinking he's stepping up and chip? Hit the line very well the last day.
I imagine they'll all go to the Albert Bartlett. They're all Albert Bartlett horses. It was an okay race. Prime example of how to ride Leopardstown from the front. Brilliant ride from Danny Mullins. I think the horse in the race to take out of it was the horse Tom put up, Manila Crooner. He was running on at the end. I just think he'll be better next year over fences. He needs to scrub up his jumping. I just don't think any of them have any hope or a race at Cheltenham, no. Ballymore, Albert Bartlett, any of it. Manila Crooner my place, but it's hard to know. I know a lot of people think Ginto will go for the Albert Bartlett now, but it's hard to know. I don't know what to make of the Albert Bartlett, but I think something will beat those horses. But a good ride.
Yeah, you probably have a different view on it with Manila Crooner. Ugh, get these mixed up. Manila Crooner, Tom. You're still keen on him for the Bartlett?
Really keen, yeah. If anything, he boosted his chances there for me. I would say just on the winner first, he won well. As Dave said, great ride from Danny. He jumped exceptionally. My issue with him, with a view to the Albert Bartlett, is he got pretty warm before, and I can tell you something for nothing now. It was bloody freezing on Saturday at Leopardstown. He got pretty warm before. He wears a hood. I don't see him being one of those that, real slugs it out in the Bartlett. I think he nicked that race down and they were coming back to him a bit at the end. So I wouldn't be too keen on him for the Albert Bartlett. I know he's getting a bit short now for that. Ginto, I don't know. A lot does depend where he will go. But I thought Manella Crooner, he jumped okay. When he gets in tight, he gets slow, and it's very frustrating. He missed the second last, and just when the race was heating up, and it cost him at least 3 or 4 lengths. He then isn't a horse. He doesn't have that turn of foot to get him back into contention straight away. So Jack had to really, okay, I found myself back here now and ride him a fair way out to recover from there. He stayed all the way to the line. Any lengths he lost with Hollow Games, he made them up and beat him, and he was closing on Manella Kakuna. I think the extra distance in the Albert Bartlett will help, and I think he didn't do anything to put me off him, and I've put him in a few doubles and stuff for the festival now as well. So, I'm still very keen on it.
What I took out of this race, and Dave just touched on it, I don't think any of these will be winning at Cheltenham. And I said to Patrick after the race, they run Ginto in the potato race, he just wins it. To me, Ginto just looks an absolute stayer that just has this cruising speed and gear that people can't lie up. But you go back to the Lauders and Ace, Harzer kept coming to him, and he kept pushing him away. I think the further he goes, the better he's going to be. If he was mine, and I wish he was mine, I'd definitely run him in the potato race. Manella Crooner, can he put in that kind of performance again around Cheltenham in more competitive race? Look, he probably won't get his own way up in front again. Manella Crooner ran on again. He's one definitely for the future. I just the Hollow Games is much as to me now. I can't take to him already. But apart from that, it was a good spectacle of a race, good ride. But as of this year, I don't think we're seeing a Cheltenham winner in this race. What did you make of Bron? You kind of like to go into it.
Yeah.
Meh. Right, we'll move on to the Juvenile Hurdle, where this is probably one of my favourite performances of the weekend. For Bron beating Phil Dorr into second. Raced wide most of the time. Raced a bit freely, Tom, as well. 1 or 2 mistakes. I think he made a bad mistake. It was the third last or second last. I think it was the third last. But he was back on the bridle very quickly. And he put this race to bed in a matter of strides, which was very taken. He's shot to the head of the Triumph Hurdle market. If he improves again on the back of that, he's surely going to be very hard to beat in this.
Yeah, I think his class won this race for him. Because let's face it, he did jump right. Phil Dorr, it went a lot more smoothly for him. And if ever Phil Dorr was going to beat that horse, it was on Saturday. Vauban, he jumped right. He jumped okay. He jumped better than he did at the start of his hurdles debut. So I think when the camera angle turned and you saw him quicken up and put it to bed in those matter of strides, only a good horse does that. If you think about the ones that did it this week, for me, he's in that Honeysuckle and Facile Vega camp where they just put the race to bed in a matter of strides and just stayed on then. I really like him. I think he'd probably be better on better ground, and he's definitely my idea of the Triumph winner.
Yeah, we were all over him that day, and he done what we thought he would do. Do you think going to Cheltenham will suit him again, or will do you think the kind of more undulating track like Cheltenham will suit Phil Dorr more? That's enough to turn around that kind of them lengths.
I don't think Phil Dorr turned around the form, but I do think he went out too far in the betting. He's probably a good each way price at 7-1. I just think Vauban will improve again. Pied Piper looks good. Can't understand why Phil Dorr is rated below 2 of the English juveniles. They're absolutely fucking terrible.
He's rated below Ibello, is he?
Yeah, ICO.
That's ICO. Sorry, that's ridiculous.
And they've got them.
No,
They
are terrible. They are. No offense to any English viewers, and I will back English and talk up. They are absolutely fucking useless.
we're going to be lucky to get out of Brentford alive, lads, aren't we? Let's face it.
I said that to Adam. Make sure you have security on the night because we might take it out.
Phil Dore is what he is. I think he'll be in long term. I said it. I think it'll be a 3 mile chaser. Vauban's probably a bit speedier. Ilete Tom ran very well for first run. She's probably she or he's probably one to take out of it. Good race. I would side with Vauban for the triumph.
Yeah, I'd be siding with Vauban as well on the back of that. I was also happy to see the Ty Turns run well. He's my idea of the Ballymore horse. Ballymore? Boodles. Jesus. I was glad to see him finish as close as he did, but in regards to the triumph, I think Vauban, after seeing him in the flesh that day, he is a small, beautiful, chestnut-looking bastard. It's like Monkfish reincarnated, but smaller. Beautiful.
He didn't jump.
All right, Kubo.
He didn't jump great, and he was probably hanging a little bit, and he still won quite well, so you'd imagine he'd come on again for the run.
Yeah, he was very good. Right, now moving on. Sorry, go on, Tom.
No, as Dave just hit on it there, Ilite Tomps, the third horse, is one to keep an eye on. Ran a really good race in third for its first race in Ireland. So, keep an eye on him.
Mm-hmm. Now, on to the Irish Arkle. A race that changed at the last. Blue Lord jumps upside Riviere de Tel. She made a bad mistake at the last, but still nearly got up. St. Sam back in third and 11 lengths back to Bustleton. Good race, very good race to watch. She probably would have won if she didn't make the mistake, but Blue Lord looked like he was all out to hit the line. So that would that put a thought in your head that places can be reversed at Cheltenham? I know it's a furlong shorter at Cheltenham, but
Riviere de Tel probably would have won Saturday. Something just tells me Blue Lord's not going to be good enough to win an Arkle, but there's really not a whole lot in the race because I didn't think Edwardstone is good enough to win an Arkle either. To me, it's turned into a very disappointing race, to be quite honest. The race on Saturday was good, made for a good spectacle, but it's just disappointing. And Fernie went from it and Appreciate didn't go for it and so on and so forth. It's just turned into a pretty poor race. Like, start of the season, did you really think you'd be talking about Blue Lord against Edwardstone for the Arkle?
No,
it's poor. Let's be honest about it.
Everstone as joint favourite now, is it? Second favourite up around there.
I would have liked seeing Hawthorne Colours stay on his feet, but fell early. St. Sam did 700 million things wrong. I would not back him. I know Tom thinks he'd have a chance in the Arkle, but pulled too hard, just horrible. If it was to side with one, I'd side with the filly, but she's after running so many times, it's hard to know. And she just keeps finding a way to come second to the better horses, so that would worry me.
That's good. Yeah, Tom, you said after the race you were very keen on St. Sam after that. I know he made a few mistakes, which you will have to cut out, but I see it in kind of a way that it's a wide open Arkle, and you're kind of looking at a horse that has the potential to improve. With Blue Lord, he probably does. And as Dave touched on, Riviere de Tel is going on to her 6th, 7th run of the season. And a mare, sometimes she might intend to say, right, that's enough. Can you go in and back her with any confidence, or is it St. Sam all the way for you?
Look, I'm sure she's gonna have lots of supporters, isn't she? She ran a cracker. I didn't know what to make of her. I thought she'd just been winning easier early season races, but this confirmed that form, and it makes the Fairly Hollow run look very good for him. Would she have won? Potentially, yeah. I think she probably would have. I think how she would have won is if she jumped it straight and Blue Lord jumped it straight, she would have been on the rail, and I think that would have helped her get up and beat him. Blue Lord, wasn't that impressed. I wasn't that impressed with his jumping. And yeah, he's gone and got the job done, but he didn't blow me away at all. St. Sam, as I said, is the one for me to take out of this. He travelled very well in front, and I think maybe Rachel just went a stride too fast on She didn't seem to be fighting him too much. He took his hold and went a nice gallop, but she didn't seem to be trying to rein it back too much. He made a bad mistake, I think, the second, and he kind of pecked on landing. But then after that, he jumped like an absolute bullet. There's no doubt in my mind now, this horse has improved stones for going chasing. This is only his second chase run as well. You got to remember that. And it would have been his first run over fences going this speed anyway. Made a desperate mistake then, 2 out, which cost him a few lengths. And after that, he's just stayed on and stayed on. He's only been beaten 4 lengths in the end. We were talking when we were up there. It's the ones that are in behind. You're focusing on the finish of the race. You're not looking at the ones in behind. And I think going back and watching it now today, he actually ran a blinder. So he was only beaten 4 lengths. For me, I think if you take out that mistake, he'd have been another 2 lengths closer at least. And yeah, in a bad looking Arkle, you can get 10, 12 to 1. Yeah, I wouldn't mind some of that now. Be interesting to see though. They've the option to step him up and trip for the turners as well, I think, because he does look to stay well. And Haute Couleurs is the annoying one now, really frustrating position to be in because he fell so early. You know, what do you do with him now? Do you give him another run? Where are you going to run him? You know, gets very, very tricky. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. I actually think Bustleton ran quite well as well. He stayed on from the back. Don't know where they'll go with him, but I think he's got a handicap in him. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's a race right now where any of the top 6, 7 in the market could win it. So it's more or less what you think on the day is what I'm looking at with this now. Because Blue Lure could have potential to improve again. Riviera Hotel could go in again. St. Sam could improve again. Then we have Etherstone in the UK. We've Third Time Lucky, who, if he wins that, I give up on life. Look, it's probably one of the poorest Arkles we've seen in a long, long time. There's no big standout at all in this race.
I know we crab the English horses a lot and the English trainers for not running them against each other, but in fairness, it sounds like all 3 of those, they're 3 in the top of the market, are all running against each other at the weekend. So that'll tell us a lot more, I'm sure.
And even if you go through the turners, there's not many in that you could think had the potential to drop down and run in the race as well.
I don't know. I might back something that hasn't been running in those races against each other anyway. Outsider. Selden Age, that horse. JP horse.
What was the pipe horse that won it 1 year at 33 to 1?
Beat Champagne Fever.
Yeah. Absolute wild price.
Western Warhorse.
Jesus, that just gave me nightmares. I can just see it now, the light blue colours coming up the outside.
Yeah.
To this day, I still can't see how we got up.
Yeah, he did. So.
Yeah, that was mental.
Anyway, move on to the Irish Gold Cup, and probably one of very few shots of the weekend. Conflated won, given a very, very good ride by Davy Russell. Beat Manila Indo by 6.5 lengths, so it looked like he was coming there to win the race, but as many of Henry's horses have been doing lately, just kind of stopped after the last. Gidanley was the next second, a third in behind, and then Asterion Kaboom, who just loved to take the piss out of everyone that backs him. And then Ken by Deltaburg, Frodon, who ran no sort of race, and Silas Emery fell. Tom, looking at the Gold Cup picture, Conflated, in hindsight, it's still hard to pick him out. Still very hard to pick him out on how he's after winning this. There's no form you could have rolled in with to see this thing winning when he's running against the likes of Melalindo, Kemboy, even Delta work. To me, I still don't think he's a Gold Cup contender for Cheltenham, but on the day, say the best ride one.
Yeah, I do think the best ride one. I mean, look, I'm the greatest one for going back then and saying, right, how did I miss that? And you look at him and you say, okay, he was a very, very well supported 4 to 1 favourite for the Kerry National when he unseated at the third. He's then gone on him in second, the Eclat de Rear in that Wexford Chase. And then he's won a 0 to 150 handicap and gone off 9-4 favourite and won it easily. So, look, you would have been taking a massive punt that he was going to step up to this level, and it wouldn't have been obvious to me. I think it probably says how good Eclat de Rear is. He hasn't been right this year. Clearly, there's something up there. I'd say Henry's pulling his hair out trying to work out what it was, because he's gone from a potential Gold Cup horse to, a poor handicapper. So I think don't give up on that lad if he comes back next year. I think you're being a little bit harsh on Indo. I went back.
I'm not. Go back and watch it again. He came there traveling like he was going to pick him up. Jumped the last.
He didn't. He didn't
come there like I didn't say traveling. He came there like it looked like he was coming to win the race, and going on a Gold Cup winner, chasing down a horse rate 157. You're expecting him to pick him up. He came to the last and he emptied.
You'd have expected the rest of the field to pick up Conflated as well.
He was the one that was chasing him. He was the one that went after him.
But he wasn't. If you go back,
Gold Cup winner. If you're expecting a Gold Cup winner to pick him up, yes, you are. Every day of the week, you're expecting a Gold Cup winner to pick him up and beat him. And he just stopped.
There's two things. After the second last, can't remember who it was coming back on top of him. Robbie was actually a bit short of room. He had to pull him out. That got Conflated another couple of lengths out in front. The Ride won that race on Conflated for me. Indo was staying on. His run did peter out. I would be more likely to put that down to fitness, though. I don't think he's going to be wound up for that race in a million years. If you saw the Racing TV interviews with Henry was saying like, "Oh, I never thought I would be saying a horse is a spring horse, but I think this lad is a spring horse." And there's no way they had him drilled off his head to go and win that. I actually thought it was a good.
He needed to be drilled off his head to win that.
Yeah, but he would have then. You can't say that just because Conflated won, he's then gone and beat all of the rest. That you thought were probably going to beat.
I'm on about the way he stopped. He literally stopped.
Where?
There's no two ways about it. His stride shortened very, very quickly.
He did, and you can put that down to fitness as well. I'm going to put that down to fitness.
Boys, the rest of the
he's gone and beaten.
The rest of the horse are doing it though. That's the thing. And we can't say I'm the biggest defender of Henry. The rest of the horse are doing it. Barrett David actually won.
As you said today, right? You said today, oh my God, that horse won. So they're not all doing it. What I would say to you, right? If you take Conflated out of that race, he's then gone and beaten Janadale, the Steerage Phalange, Ken Boy, Frodon, Deltour. And you'd be saying, I guarantee you now, you'd be saying he won the Gold Cup if you took Conflated out of that race.
Well, you can't.
Conflated was in it.
But Conflated was in it. Conflated beaten by 6.5 lengths.
But then if you take it that Conflated ran to
You can say that about every race. You can say that about every race. Take the winner out and you have to win by 12 lengths.
Yeah, but what you're trying to say is he should have picked up a horse rate 157. So if he ran to 100, if Conflated ran to 157, Indo's ran to about 149, Janada's ran to about 148, Steering Phalange's run to about 140, and Kenboy's run to 130 something. I don't think there's anyone thinks those horses have run to those lower marks. Conflated has clearly improved and got a very good ride.
So he's had improved when you're on 2 stone.
Yeah, he clearly has. Yeah. He's put up a performance there in the mid 160s, definitely. He's at least improved a stone there, yeah.
He must be in Sandcrow's outdoor stable, so.
Oh my.
He must do. But the ones they're all in behind him. Like Janadil's run consistently solid this year. Steering Phalange has run consistently solid this year. So you've got 2 yardsticks there to back him off. He's clearly gone and improved.
He just got the best.
He has to have improved to have won this.
Your thoughts?
I'll touch on Asterion first because a few people are saying in the comments how did he go off as favourite. To me, it's just a prime example of people loving national hunt racing and loving horses that are just a little bit crazy and have issues. We watched him the whole way around. He dicked his way around. He had his head off to one side. Just was just like he was out on the cross country track having the crack. Traveled all right.
I think he winked at you one stage.
I think he did. He stopped racing for a furlong and a half and then ran on and got fourth, and he just came out of nowhere. So he's a mad fuck. I'd say he does Willie Mullins' head in, because he's loads of talent. He just don't want to do anything with it. But he's like Mad Moose or anyone. Just fall in love with him.
Yeah, I loved him.
Because he's full of problems. You just want him. You just want him to. And you don't get that in flat racing, because when they're full of problems, they geld him. Like, he's gelded already. You'd think he wouldn't be acting the maggot, but he's constantly acting the maggot. I love him.
Where is he going to run now, next?
I don't care. Wherever he goes, I'm going to watch him again anyway.
Cross country?
Maybe.
Imagine him around a cross country course.
Put him around the Phoenix Park, he'd have the crack. The Gold Cup, to me, is just so poor. It reminds me of the years that Jack Adam was running in it, and he just wasn't good enough to win, but would place. I always tend to stay away from the horses that have ran in it the year before, bar the winner. Still very hard to win again. Alboom, probably not the best Gold Cups either that he was winning. I mean, beating Santini that second time wasn't the greatest Gold Cup in the world. So I'd give any of the horses that haven't ran in the Gold Cup last year a bigger shout of winner. Never really liked Galvin, but I think he should be favourite. He's, in my opinion, the best form this year, and the back form. Can't have Absolute Hard because he ran it last year. I'd look down the market, then I'd give Conflated a chance. I didn't see him progressing like he did. He must have ran above himself, or Indo ran below himself. But I give him a chance. He has to go for it now. I'd give Tornado Flyer a chance. Never thought I'd say that. I'd give Protector a chance. Anything that hasn't ran in it that is unexposed, I think, is the way to look at it. And if I own that high senior, if I own Brave Man's Game, I'd run him in the Gold Cup, because it's a poor Gold Cup. They're unexposed. And if you jump well, you have a chance of winning it.
Well, if you own a high senior, I might actually run at Cheltenham, because apparently they are going to win 3.
You have to look outside the top of the market, in my opinion.
No, Jack. No, not Royal Pagoi. Jack, lad I work with. No. God, no. Unless it's a bog. Look, it blows the market up wide again, but look, jeez, it was poor. Going from bad to the good. Jesus Christ, what was that? Felicia Vega.
Facile.
Why do we keep saying Felicia?
No, you said that last week.
Said last week as well. Facile Vega. Mother of good Lord, this thing is extremely good. Living up to the pedigree, won by 12 lengths. Won as Patrick wanted him to win by. Hard to take on the champion bumper.
Yeah, I don't like getting super excited about horses, but I did fancy this chap, and
that is an understatement. You got very, very giddy after
I got very excited about this chap, and I got very excited about Sir Gerhard. I even punched a pint after Sir Gerhard won, and I went everywhere, and it was an accident. But there you go. He beat the right horse in second, I think, in Sander Clegane. I could see him being a decent horse next year and a decent chaser in years to come. Going to be a good race between him and American Mike. Some people will crab it and say, it's similar to what what's his name? Kilcrut did last year. I just think it was visually different. Kilcrut looked like he was bombing on past slow horses. This chap was doing a half speed the whole way up the last furlong.
Patrick gave him a squeeze from the furlong pole to the half furlong pole. Stood up on him. And from being a length ahead, he was 12 lengths ahead. He picked up where Kilcrut was galloping past horses that were dead.
He was just extremely impressive. I would struggle to see how he gets beat.
I hope he turns into a superstar.
So do I. I think it'd be great for racing with his mum being Quivega and stuff like that as well. But he looks all the world on the cusp of greatness.
Would you be in agreement, Tom, or do we still have a... Well, I say we do have a strong contender in American Mike as well to take him on with.
Yeah, I thought it was an incredible performance, to be honest. The way he just turned into the straight on the bridle, Patrick squeezed him and he shot clear of a really good field. Like they're good horses behind him. I would give a shout out just to the second there, Sandok again, the poor Nolan horse. He ran really well because he's beaten the rest of them by 8 lengths. If you take the winner out. And I think that was a top run from him. He'll be a nice horse in the future, but geez, this lad looks unreal, doesn't he? He settles away as well. He's not overly keen. He just looks perfect. Took my breath away. Gordon's are still Gordon's are keen on American Mike though. And I know Patrick was still mentioning Redemption Day, so I think it's going to be a good bumper again this year once the 3 of those turn up anyway.
It looks a good race.
Very good race. Yeah. Right, we're going to move on to Sunday now. We start with the Grade 1 Novice Chase over 2 mile 5 furlongs. And Galloping the Champ got it done nicely. Master Max Shee was back in second, 9 lengths behind him. He's at to turn himself inside out again this year. He could pop up somewhere in the near future. Gallier de Mesnil and a decent race in fairness to him. His best race of the season so far, and then 31 lengths back to Filer Allen and poor Fury Road. Looked like he was going to collapse crossing the line. Look, the question everyone wants to know, an opinion after that, Turners or SA?
From what Willie said after the race, regards, wasn't too happy with some of the jumps down the back, and he thought it was because they were going too fast. I would imagine he'll go up and trip. I know I've been joking about it, but I think he'll go for the 3 mile race.
Music to my ears.
Master Max Shee, I said it to you coming down in the car, it's just unbelievable training performance. To turn that horse back around and get him to win a Grade 1 and then run well again when he was bleeding last year. Unreal. Gare de Maynil, I don't know, depending on his mark, maybe a handicap, but Willie Mullins' record in handicap chase at Cheltenham is not great. But
doesn't he look the ideal 4 mile?
He just doesn't jump well or anything.
Exactly.
I know he ran well the other day, but he just doesn't jump well enough.
But get him in the 4 mile, get Patrick on his back.
I don't know what that horse wants.
He's not qualified though, is he?
He has to run in
He'd have to run the
3 mile somewhere.
And
I think one of them now. I think Willie tried it 1 year. Was it with Appreciate? He rushed the race, 2 races in between.
Carefully
selected. Sorry, same colours. Carefully selected. I think he tried it with him 1 year, and that didn't turn out too well. But if they were to do it, he would be interesting. But it's hard to know what you do with him, isn't it, really?
Yeah. I wasn't as impressed with Galloping this time, but obviously a higher standard of the race. So,
what do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I thought he was good. Some of the races, and Dave actually pointed out to me when we were up there, some of the fences on the turn kind of thing, or if you were coming into them at an angle, he was jumping right at them. And you know, Cheltenham, you're going to meet some of them just on the turn. So, yeah, I'd keep that in mind. And I think if you come back down, if you go up to 3 miles, that's not going to be as much of an issue. I love the way he takes on fences. He's not afraid to reach for them and go for them. And look, he was unreal, really, wasn't he? I thought he was very good. I also think as well, the ground is riding pretty dead this weekend. So, you know, he's going to win by 8 lengths or whatever he did. Like, it's still a very good performance. We had this conversation about a few other horses and stuff, and you know, on rattling quick ground or on proper soft ground, they'd have probably won by further. But yeah, no, I thought he was very good. If he was mine, I'd go for the 3 miler. I wouldn't want to take on Bob. I'd rather take on Brave Man's Game than Bob. I think we know, you know, even though Brave Man's Game has improved for a fence, I would still think Bob is better than him. So if you look at that race as well, he is the only one to beat, really, Brave Man's Game in my mind. if you want to be really picky, you can go down the line of Galliard, Bob beating 31 lengths, and Galloping Deschamps has only beaten 14 and a half. So, you know, if you some people that sit there and say, "Oh, Bob's twice the horse," it doesn't exactly work out like that. But it's a shame that Capodanno didn't stand up, because we'd have got a real good angle on the form then. But
he took a real good angle into the side of an ambulance jumping a ditch.
Yeah.
Did you miss that?
Yeah, I think that was Capodanno. One of the horses, one of the loose horses after the race, jumped over like the white railing into a hedge, which basically brought them out onto the road around the track. So hopefully they're okay.
I think he's fine. I think every horse walked away the weekend unscathed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Where would you go, Andrew? 3 miles?
100% I go 3 miles. I thought he always looked like a stayer that travels really well and has a little kick on the end. It's the easier race. As you said, they only had to beat Brave Man's Game. I think he'll improve again for a bit of better ground. As we saw at Cheltenham when he won the Martin Pipe, he wasn't running great on proper soft and heavy ground. Improved for good ground. On the same when he went to Punchestown. I think better ground. Back at Cheltenham, I think we'll see another improved performance. I think he's going to be very, very, very hard to beat. Even though Brave Man Game is a very good horse, I just think this fella's at a different level. But it will be a good race. I wouldn't go, and it's not the Bob angle. I don't think he's a 2.5 miler. It would be probably one of the races, the festival, the two of them went against each other, but I just don't think it's his kind of trip. Yeah. Right, on to the Dublin Chase. Good old Shashan Pushwa. Back to his brilliant best exhibition now, the jumping. Brought the house down. Done what he does best at Leopardstown, Dave.
Yeah, won't spend much time on this from my side anyway. He's just mustard in Ireland and Leopardstown and Punchestown specifically. Did what I thought he'd do. Jump, gallop, job done.
Tom, with regards to winning that now, I know he's a 10-year-old now, but does that kind of reignite the little flame inside and saying, geez, if he actually does turn up to one of these festivals and travels well, he might put it up to him? Because that was an exceptional performance.
Yeah, it was very good. I still think probably the better one was when he beat Min there. I thought that was really, really good that day. Yeah, very good performance. I think Leopardstown plays to his strengths. Regards going over to the UK, I heard someone saying that Willie's going to do things a bit differently this year. He is going to apparently he's going to leave him a few pieces of work short, because what they work out is by going over there, it takes out of them a piece of work, as in, stress-wise.
He said he was going to leave him 95% fit first.
Yeah, so that's interesting. You've got to try something different, and if it works, fantastic. I do think the top two are probably better than him, but yeah, he's an extremely talented horse.
Yeah, I was delighted to see him do that. We saw him first time when he ran at Punchestown. It was nice to see him in the flesh again. Jumping performance, unbelievable. Got a good reception coming back. I'd love to see him put up a really good performance against Shiskin and Ergamy. Will he beat him? Probably not. But you'd like to see him run to his actual level outside of Ireland. And if he does, look, he could throw in an owl upset, but that's a big if. Right, moving on to the Irish Champion Hurdle, and a horse that got cheered going down to the start, crossing the line for the first time, and then crossing the actual finishing line then. Honeysuckle brought the house down. Look, there's obviously not many people would have went in at 1-5 on. Some people still crabbed the performance because she only won by 6.5 lengths, but look, she's unbeaten. She's, what was it, 10 grade ones now?
Yeah, 14 in a row. She bet Bouler's record.
Very hard to take on the gentleman. Because appreciate it now, came out today. that he's just going straight to Cheltenham, missing the Red Mills next week at Gorham Park. Geez, it'd be hard to back him coming on the back of no runs this season against Honeysuckle.
Yeah, look, I don't think she was superb on Sunday. She did what she had to do, and she's class. She's deadly to watch. And like 4 furlongs, 4 to 3 furlongs, she's an injection of pace, and she doesn't do a whole lot towards the end. Then she kind of wins the race in the third quarter of it. He's the only legitimate challenger, but she didn't probably run to her rating on Sunday. Or if she runs to 165, he has to run to 172 to beat her. I just can't see it happening. So, yeah, he was deadly last year, and I liked him. I thought he'd be good over fences. I would have took him over Bob, say, if they went to the marsh with him, but I just don't see how he can run to that rate. And she'd have to underperform for him to beat her.
She'd have to underperform a fair amount for him to win.
I think she mightn't have looked her best on Sunday, but the stable is in terrible form. And for her to win, then, you know, while the stable is like that, is a good sign. What good horses do.
Tom, would you be confident then on the back of that going into Cheltenham with her?
Yeah, Derek. Yeah. I think she put the race to bed after the second last. She quick and clear, and I think one thing I only noticed again today when I watched it back is like Rachel isn't even sat down pushing her along. She's just squeezing her with her legs and encouraging her forward. I can't see anything to be appreciated. That worries me that he's not going to the Red Mills and he's going straight there. What's that?
I said it to Andrew. It's like Benny last year. It could turn out that he's injured all season, and you know what I mean. I wouldn't be banking appreciating anti-post anyway. No hope.
No. My next words were going to be, Dave, I'll believe he's running at 10 a.m. on the Sunday when declarations come out. And probably even then, I probably won't believe he's running until he's in the parade ring. But yeah, no, I think she's class, isn't she? The reception she got before the race was amazing. I've never seen that before. And then the reception afterwards, we all went out and watched her come back in, and yeah, it was fantastic. She's brilliant. So I hope she keeps it up now.
Yeah, it was one of them times, as you said, we went out to see her come in. One of them moments that you're glad you were there. It was 15, 20 people deep watching her come in. A 1-5 shot. It's not many times you see it, but look, many people will say she's a very good horse in a bad generation. Many will say she's world class, one of the best 2-mile hurdlers we've ever seen. But take that away, it's unreal to have a horse like that in our generation that we can actually see do this unbeaten run from her start of her career to, who knows, they might pull the plug at Cheltenham. They might not.
Yeah, look, I just say, I know you were a big fan of her, and Tom became a big fan last year, but enjoy her while you can, because mares can sometimes just decide themselves there and don't want to do it anymore. And they retired Annie Power probably before her time, but I'm sure they were worried that she would do that and eventually decide herself, look, I'm not doing this anymore. And it's quite likely Honeysuckle might do the same if they continue to race her. So it would not surprise me if she wins the Champion Hurdle this year, wins the Punchestown, and then gets retired.
Yeah, she is 8 now, rising 9 next year. So you think a maximum she'll see out this season and then next season. I doubt she'll go past that then. Like Kenny Alexander is a very sporting owner. He loves running his horses. But there's a time and place where you think, right, she's 8 now. She's done everything she has to do. She owes us nothing. Let's get her home safe and sound and live on the memories.
She dances every dance as well. Like the good mares that we've seen in their time, Bar Apples, Jade, they're race sparingly. Benny, Quavega, Annie Powers race sparingly as well. So she's out all season long, the last 4 seasons, October to May. So
that's a credit to Henry and the team he has to keep horses. Like you touched on it as well coming down the car. We were talking about Willie's injuries, and you said yourself that not many of Henry's horses get injured.
Yeah.
So it's a testament to the way he trains horses like that they keep coming back year after year. Same, your prime example was Eyes in Europe, danced every dance. Same with Indo this year, Absolute Hard this year. It's as Dave said, enjoy it while she's around. She mightn't be around for much longer, so go on, money suckle. What's next? Right. Tarastal's Novice Hurdle. Sir Gerhard won by 6 lengths, very, very impressively. Probably one of the best performances. I say one of the best ones. There's a shitload of good performances the weekend. The problem he has now, does he split him and Dustin? He split him and just go to hell for it. I'm going to run 2 of them. And does Willie really have the last say, or Leona say, no, look, I want to run him here. That's it.
I think Willie has the last say in that place now. I think you do as you're told with Willie.
I think this is just Willie Mullins playing the game. And for the life of me, I can't see this horse going to the Ballymore. It makes no sense. Yeah. Gavin Lynch had a good start. I think it was Gavin anyway. Regards Willie Mullins, winners of this race. He's had 4 go to the Ballymore. I think one of them was placed in 3rd. He's had 5 go to the Supreme. 4 have won the Supreme after winning this race. One of them was 4th. That one was Asterion Forlange, and you can discount that lunatic. So the trial is this race for the Supreme. It's the best piece of form, best piece of 2-mile hurdle form for a novice all year. I think it's miles better than the 2 English horses. I said last week by Jeremy, his breeding screams 2-mile hurdler. The time in a race screams 2-mile hurdler.
Does a jumping scream 2-mile hurdler? I'm just being nitpicky for anyone who goes mental in comments.
Even commentator Jerry said how polished he was the first day. Has a faster race, more going on. He's probably a little bit. I don't think he necessarily wants to lead either.
That's what I said to you as well.
I think he'd sit behind the horse and maybe pick it up. He could go from the front, but like it was one bad jump really. Like the other 2 were just novice mistakes, and he made no mistakes the first day. So I just can't see why, in God's name. I think he's nailed on to win the Supreme. I don't know why you go up to the Ballymore with.
I can't see it either. To me, he's speed, his jumping will improve, and I think he'll be better for a lead, as I said to you on the day. To win a race like that with the turn of gear, he when he took off again, just screamed a horse that has some load of gears.
Yeah,
I just think it's nailed on, as you said. That he's nailed on. He's going to the Supreme. To me, he should be favourite. I can't see why he's not favourite. Constitution Hill is still currently favourite. Best he's form. 3-Stripe Life. He's a very, very good horse. Colin Mustard, good horse. My mate Mozzie, he was decent enough to start the season. He got battered then. And the rest of them are all beating each other all season. I think he just screams class.
He's a different specimen of a horse compared to what Vautour and Duvan were. But he just reminds you of what they did.
To me, it's very obvious.
And what the 2 of those did in the Supreme, they basically just took it up because they were so much better than the other horses, and then battered them from there. Especially Vautour. Duvan maybe took it up a little bit later, but he was just so much better than the other horses in the race. I think he's miles better. I like Dysart Dynamo. I think he's better than Dysart Dynamo as well. I honestly think it's Willie Mullins playing the game. I thought he'd go into 2-1 favourite if he won like he did the weekend. He's still around 4-1. I mean, imagine him 4-1 if you know he's going for the Supreme.
Do you not think that kind of tells you the story? Because I agree with you. I was going to put this lad up for the Supreme there a few weeks back, and I backed off it because I didn't think he'd run. Does that not say it all? I think he's a Supreme horse as well, and I think Willie's problem is he's got 2 Supreme horses. The fact that he keeps on about this lad and stepping him up to the Ballymore, I think that tells you how good they think Dysart Dynamo is, to be honest. Because to me, this lad is a supreme horse. I think he jumped okay, like in the main at the weekend. He did miss one or two. He flattened the last. You probably can't get away with that in a supreme. You might get away with one little mistake, but not flattening a hurdle completely. Dare I say it, that the way he flattened it and he just kept on galloping was a bit Faheen-esque. You know, I do think he's a really, really good horse. And I think if they ran both of them in the Supreme, I think they'd be first and second. I would hope Dynamo wins for personal reasons because I put him up. But I think that was a very good performance. A lot of people are also comparing the times to Honeysuckle's race. And it's a pain in the arse. The feckin' hurdle was, the second last was taken out. So it's a bit, you're playing a bit of a guessing game. But I went through it and I did the sectional from hurdle to hurdle. And from when they crossed the line to go to start the race, and I had around a second between them kind of jump. So I think it was an extremely good performance by Sir Gerhard. He had a lot of decent animals tailed off. Like there were horses beating 50 lengths in this race. And that's why I said at the start of the show, I think Free Stripe Life ran an absolute belter here. He'd actually, off 141, he's probably well handicapped here, to be honest. Like my mate Mozzie got absolutely tanked. He got beat 53 lengths. I think it was an exceptional performance by Sir Gerhard. I agree, Dave. I don't know why he's not shorter. The only reason I think he's not shorter is because there's so much talk about him not going there. Colonel Mustard is the other one. That ran a belter. I don't know where they're going to take that, but if that turns up in a Supreme or a Ballymore or somewhere like that, and it was 20-1, I'd definitely be taking a chance each way on that. And there's also, sorry, just before I finish, there's also a form line through Colonel Mustard and John Bon. John Bon beat Colonel Mustard by 2 and a bit lengths. Now I know he's pushed out to do it easily, but so was Sir Gerhard, and Sir Gerhard's going to beat him 12 lengths. So I think that's very, very strong form. But that's, to me, is what does that tell you about Dysart Dynamo, that Willie won't commit what looks a clear Supreme horse to the Supreme.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of going for him for Supreme. I think just his speed he'll get a lot of people, a lot of horses in trouble, and he just looks that much better than what's been shown so far. Dysart Dynamo is an extremely good horse. I just think there's something about Sir Gerhard that's just standing out like a sore thumb, and we'd be looking back at 1:45 the Tuesday Cheltenham saying, geez, it was so obvious, wasn't it?
Do you remember when Paul Nicholls had Irving?
He went off jail favourite of Vautour.
And Nicky Henderson had Lammy Surge. And I'm pretty sure those 2 years were the years Vautour and Duvan were in the race. And you could have got a good price even on the off. You got around 2s, 3-1.
3-1 he went off.
I can see it happening again. It's literally like, and I know Willie has Dysart Dynamo. It's hard to know who's going to run where, but like, Sir Gerhard still should be a favourite for Supreme. Either way, and I think the English horses have made the market. People are banging on about Constitution Hill. Sir Gerhard and destroy Constitution Hill. Positive.
Can't say I disagree with that. What? Best horse to take out of the 2 days, Dave?
Ooh.
Doesn't have to be a winner. Master Mac Sheed one for me. Before you say it. I like Master Mac Sheed. I think he'd pop up in something in Fairy House maybe this at the Easter Festival. Sorry.
Are you okay now?
So nothing from Dave.
Do you know what? Probably one I'll continue to follow is Sander Clegane. I think it's unfortunate that he's in a division where you have American Mike and Facile Vega. He's clearly not going to beat Facile Vega, but I could see him. The Witch probably said it, but I could see him turning up at that meeting next year and running in the same race that latest exhibition ran in. See him as a long distance novice hurdler, so I think he'll be very good.
Say his name again.
Sander Clegane.
You, Tom.
I would probably take Manella Crooner. I do think he is the Albert Bartlett winner. And there's a whole heap of them though, lads. I think there was 11 Cheltenham winners out of this 11 Cheltenham winners last year out of this meeting. And I think you will see stacks of them again. There's so many good horses ran there, and there were so many good horses finished in the places to back up that form who could overturn it come to Cheltenham. So, you know, there's a lot of good horses there going into Cheltenham.
Right, questions from
Andrew.
Yes, Thomas.
Andrew, I want to give my shout out that we discussed the other day.
What?
The Zoff.
Oh, the Zoff. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
The Zoff is back. Yeah, got really good news. We had his leg scanned the other week, and he's absolutely A1. So he's come back into training with a view to running in around May. He's going to go into training with Henry. He's in pre-training now at the minute, and really looking forward to him. I think we're also going to be blessed by the handicapper, the way they've changed it in the UK. And I spoke to the handicapper who agreed his mark is going to be a lot lower than we thought it was going to be, put it that way. He won his listed handicap hurdle at Otoy on his last start off a mark of 132. He went up to 140, and I think we could end up rated low 120s here, which is madness to me anyway, but we'll take it. So we're offering lease shares as well. So if anybody's interested, it's a very cheap way to get involved in ownership. It's €95 up front per 2.5% share. So these aren't 0.001% shares. They're proper percentages, and it's then €70 a month or €16 a week. So for €16 a week, you can get involved in a horse that you're going to have a lot of fun with. And he's going to take you to some big meetings. I'd say we'll probably have a look at Galway and the likes of that, and some big days out with him. He's shown in France he could do it, and yeah, really looking forward to it. And you know, if you get a share, you can come along to the yard mornings at Henry's, tickets to the races, and all that kind of thing to go with it, and hopefully some wins out of Zoff along the way, so you can join in the journey.
And we are back in.
Didn't take us long.
Back.
Didn't take us long, did it?
We are back in. I was waiting for Zoff to come back from injury, and we are back in business.
And now that we're in on the Zoff, there will be a Hoff.
The GOAT is on the way.
Harvey will have a new best friend in Henry.
Because he going to be in Henry's. Well, let him GOATs in Henry's.
Yeah, well, he's gonna be with Harvey, isn't he? So there you go.
No. Harvey needs a friend as well. Harvey needs a friend as well.
Harvey, the Hoff, and the Zoff.
Poor Monolly.
Where is Monolly?
Probably kicking down his door like the last time he was out there.
Oh, lovely.
But if you want to get in touch or just even find out any more information, you'll get me on any of my social medias, or it's tom@pimlicoracing.co.uk.
And the email is in the description as well if anyone's looking for it. Question time. We'll take one from Let's Talk Racing. The old lads. Witchy. It's not Blair Witch, definitely not Blair Witch.
Josh.
Hi,
Josh.
Josh, what's the story, lad? Josh wants to know, any chance Paul gets off an Ergamena for Shakan? I highly doubt it.
More chance of Prengard winning the cross-country chase.
I think who will ride Shakan is Patrick Mullins.
That's what I said to him, and he is like, "Nah, Danny or Brian." I think Patrick could ride him.
Yeah,
I think
Rich
Brian-
Ritchie puts him
Rich
up
Ritchie,
on
he
it.
always gets the Rich Ritchie horse who rides.
But I think
Charger.
if they ride him more aggressively, I think Danny would be perfect person for
I'm
him.
telling you, Patrick Mullins will get it.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Help anytime.
Keep going. Stop.
Hamatan. Which one? This one. Will Appreciator go chasing next season?
Has to prove he's alive first.
That would help. That would definitely help. All right. Josh again. This is good. In a completely hypothetical world, which 2 mile novice would have the best chance of beating her when they go champion?
If and when they go to the champion.
Say it.
Probably Sir Gerhard.
Well, Gerhard probably, yeah.
I would imagine so.
If you fancy that he'll win the Supreme, you'd imagine that, yeah.
Yeah, this is what I think will happen with Huddy next year.
I think Sir Gerhard's 7 as well, so maybe they'll skip chasing and stay hurdling with him.
Possibly. Question for the boys. Go to this one. Which one would you say the most resembles? Oh my God, words work.
Which one would you say most resembles most in Village People? Tom is definitely the policeman. Yeah. Andrew is definitely the builder, and Dave is the guy in black leather with a porn star mustache.
I'd agree with that.
I agree.
I can see you in leather with a porn star mustache.
I'm happy with that.
In fact, I'd say it's probably happened before.
Wow. Anything you want to share with the viewers?
No.
Oh, brilliant. Let's see. Jesus Christ.
Stop.
That can't go any further. Why no Irish runners in the big hurdle handicap this weekend? Because they will get battered by the English handicapper if they win, and they will not go to Cheltenham then. They're going to get battered anyway, like they've had to win the race in the UK. So why would you?
It is interesting. If I had a horse that wasn't going to go to Cheltenham or didn't like Cheltenham, I'd run him in that Betfair hurdle. I think we're miles ahead at the minute, lads.
Answer that one.
Whoop.
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 Whoop. Whoop.
That one.
This one?
Moga, 1981.
This one?
Yeah.
I tell you, if Envoy bullies off, I'll be down there to have a chat with Envoy.
Oh God. Disco Ramen really won today.
I saw that.
Bastard, I backed them.
Oh, there's a good question right down at the very bottom there from Steve.
What was the cheapest horse that won at the Dublin Racing Festival, if Tom knows? Do you, Tom?
No, I don't know, but I will find out and I will come back and tell everybody on... When are we next time? Friday?
Friday.
Or Sunday? I will come back and let everyone know on Friday because...
I'd imagine Honeysuckle's up around now. She's only 15 grand, wasn't she?
We'll go off when they were last bought before they started racing. So she was 110, I think.
I thought she bought for 15 as a store, was she?
Yeah, but then she was sold as a pointer.
Yeah.
If you could have one hurdler in its prime, would it be Honeysuckle, Quevega, or Dawn Run?
Honeysuckle.
Oh, Andrew, you're not going to like my answer to this.
And Quevega. And Dawn Run.
Dawn Run, because then I'd know I was going to win a Gold Cup.
Dickhead.
Don't go hurt. Don't go chasing, he says. Quevega for me.
Because yeah, but you get more fun at Honeysuckle.
Man, Quevega was class.
Oh, she was unbelievable. You only get 2 runs a year out of her, though. You get 4 out of Honey. Double the fun.
Only got one night of drinking out of Tom.
That's true. You only got a half a night out of you, what are you saying?
Yeah, but sure, I don't drink.
Chap gone to bed at 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Fantastic choice of wine, by the way, Thomas.
Will
Got
the-
to say it to you.
Will the poor little Yank win a
thank
Thurles
you.
this week? 4-runner race. The little Yank will not win a Thurles this week. We discussed this. I had a good conversation with Tom about this. If the little Yank runs in a race where he's 20 pounds inferior to every other horse in the race, he will still lose. And then he will go out and run above himself in a better race.
What he said. Right. Joe
Dunboyne,
Robinson.
someone just said Dunboyne. Dunboyne still a winner with Temps. Yes.
Can't see it myself, Tom.
Really? Why not?
Yeah. I just can't. I don't think he's good enough.
Really? Jesus.
Yeah,
I thought
genuinely.
he could have won the last day and he walked. I've never seen a horse do that, lads. He literally didn't even. They sometimes make an attempt to jump. He didn't even see the hurdle. He just ran straight into it. No, I
That
think.
doesn't bode well then if he's running a 20-odd handicap around Cheltenham.
Yeah, he'd be clever enough now. Once you do that once, you won't do that again. So.
Yeah. Call it a night.
Yeah, bedtime. What time is it? Jeez, it is not, yeah.
Oh, see, we weren't lying. He was gone to bed at 10 o'clock. Right, as us done, we are back for extra show this week on Tuesday. It won't be a long one. We'll just go through 3 or 4 of the big races.
Friday.
What did I say?
Tuesday. Tuesday was
Jesus
yesterday.
Christ, I think today is Sunday. So something.
Who wins the Super Bowl, Tom? Before we go.
Looking like the Rams, isn't it?
Rams, who's in it?
Every
What do you
single thing points to the Rams winning. So the Bengals are going to win.
The price of the Bengals.
I reckon they're a good price. Rams are odds on, so.
Rams are 1-2. I think the Bengals are about 2-1. So
Get the Bengals on board.
That's the value bet.
could be.
Joe Burrow, the next Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bengals. Fuck it.
And another news, Tottenham are getting bet 3-2 off Southampton. Right, that is all. We're back on Friday for, as I said, a shortened video where we will be previewing 3 to 4 races and the Hollywood Grand National Trial. Again, there's 10 grand up for grabs if a share 10 grand up for grabs if you back the winner of the Hollywood West Grand National Trial on Sunday at Punchestown, and the horse wins either the Irish or English Grand National this year. So you'll find all the T's and C's on hollywoodsbest.com, the hollywoods.ie. But until Friday, we will see you again. So take it easy for the rest of the week, and we'll talk to you again on Friday.